It's interesting that this is you said you're getting a lot on Shanahan in what you're doing in the chat. We don't have the same thing you're doing. It's almost kind of the same. It's the public. Kyle Shanahan. Here's one from Ramelia SB Super Bowl Champs Report. He says Kyle Shanahan has gotten a pass by the media. He's into his 6th year, and as we speak, he's 40 and 44 as a 49er head coach. He goes on to say, with Shanahan, there's always excuses. There's only a quarterback he's won with is Jimmy Garoppolo. Meanwhile, the 49ers team is loaded, and the media isn't letting Kyle have it. Amazing. If you want to react to that, I mean, I don't know what we as a collective are supposed to do. The reality of the situation is not lost on any of us, which is, to me, if every NFL coach was a free agent tomorrow, who would land the biggest contract? And it might be Kyle Shanahan.
I think it would be.
And if it's not Kyle Shanahan, he'll be very close to at or near the top of the list if every one of these coaches were free agents. That's my barometer. And also, I think he's an outstanding play caller. And I think, a lot of this is the media circus and a lot of it's out of his control. He may not be a great personnel evaluator, and he may have dabbled too much in those areas in his first 4 or 5 years. And if you told me that was a fact, I wouldn't fight it. I wouldn't even argue it. That might be the case, but that's to me, that's, we're learning together what his strengths are and weaknesses are. What's your feeling on the media's handling of Shanahan? Are we collectively too easy on him? This guy goes on to say, Kyle Shanahan, football excuses genius. You probably heard a lot of these sentiments in your chat wrap. What do you think?
Bill Belichick also is 41 and 55 through his first 6 years. Throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that the first guy had a Rams avatar. I think he's just trying to
right.
lament controversy. Get everybody turning on themselves. If the 49ers fired Kyle Shanahan, they'd have a search committee, and the search committee would say, what we need? We need a Kyle Shanahan-like coach.
Right. Somebody could call plays and be trusted.
Look who the Vikings hired. Look who the Bengals hired a couple of cycles ago. I mean, these are all clones of one guy, which is Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. But Sean McVay is part of that Shanahan-like crowd. So, I mean, again, it goes back to your previous question about fans just kind of seizing on what Jim Harbaugh would call low-hanging fruit, which is the head coach. I think he's the best head coach that I've covered. But I mean, it's a good point.
And you covered Harbaugh.
I covered Harbaugh. Yeah.
So you think he's a better coach than Harbaugh?
I think he's a better coach than Harbaugh. I think there's more sustainability there. I mean, I felt like Harbaugh had just kind of burned out in a fireball the first 3 years. And like I said, there was a lot of issues among that team. And you don't see that here. And I think Joe Staley would probably agree with me. I mean, that would be actually a very good question, because Joe Staley loved those teams that he was on. Loved that 2011 team, especially the one that almost went to the Super Bowl back in 2011 against the Giants. That'd be an interesting one. But I mean, it's just, gosh, the people's patience level, the attention span level. This team's lost 2 games this season, and people want when are we going to get to Brock Purdy? I want to see Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy's got it. And then as soon as Brock Purdy has a bad game, it's going to be, Kurt Benkert. That's the guy that I really want to see in there. So, I mean, it's just nobody has the patience to absorb a few losses. It's I think that's a culture-wide issue these days. I can't watch a 2-hour movie without kind of getting up and moving around. I know that.
It's true.
So
we're all impatient.
I don't know. I mean, but I do. I mean, I'm looking at this, and it's not just 1 or 2 guys. It's a lot of people that have it. So you have to kind of, take it seriously and think about, do they have a point here? And I think they do, in that, there are some second half leads that are lost. And there are some missing points, and Shanahan and Garoppolo do seem to be not quite on the same page right now. So there's something there, but I think the fire the head coach answer to any time that there's a bit of an issue is the wrong one.
Yeah, the thing I never understand is it's like a lot of the same people that dislike Jimmy G and think he stinks also think Kyle Shanahan is bad and that he stinks, but yet Kyle Shanahan took this quarterback that stinks to the Super Bowl, or Jimmy G took this head coach that stinks to the Super Bowl. So it's like one of the logical math doesn't add up.
Yeah, don't try to apply logic to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apply logic.
If A, then B. If B, then C. If A, then C.